Welcome to Becoming More, the podcast where we help people and their businesses become more. Now, I've got to tell you, if you are interested in digital marketing and literally connecting with people in a way that you've never connected with them before, building an authentic community, creating content that actually drives engagement, real engagement, then you're going to want to listen to this because I've got my friend Jonni Parsons with me. And it's so interesting when you meet someone. I actually met this lady in Puerto Rico. We were at a dinner and I walked up to her and said, "Look, I love your energy." Of course, I told her who I was and it wasn't creepy. Yet I said, "I love your energy and I want to get to know you better." We were at an event with John Maxwell, and even though it seemed like our table literally filled up very quickly, we made a connection. And that's what Jonni does well. She connects with people in a way that they instantly desire to know her. Now, today, I've got to tell you, you look a little bit different, Jonni. You've been a mother all night long with a baby that's been teething. And for us mothers that have been there, we relate right away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, learning from you over the past, I think it's been 2 years now, has been one of the greatest honors, honestly. I told you in Puerto Rico, there's not a lot of times where you meet moms that can do both. And you showed me that it is possible just with all the conversations and answering my questions. So thank you for that. But yeah, usually I'll come with my makeup and my hair nicely done, but I have been a mom with my teething baby and my crazy 3-year-old. It's been wild, but people like you have done it. And so I know I can as well.
Well, you're doing a great job. Now, here's the interesting part. Everyone that's listening or watching this, Jonni helps people like maybe you've heard of The Chosen, Damon John
Mhm.
C. Maxwell,
Mm,
Shaquille O'Neal's Big Chicken,
mm.
David Green. I mean, you help some of the top people with their social media and digital marketing, and yet you help keep them so authentic, so
Mm.
real. How do we do that?
I think, first of all those names that you just mentioned, it's surreal that when you mention them all in one sentence, because it feels like I crashed a party and I'm waiting for somebody to kick me out. I'm like, how in the world did we get to this point that there are those kinds of names that I'm associated with? It's cool, especially because I didn't grow up with that kind of background. I didn't think that I would be associated with these people. So that's pretty cool. Keeping them authentic. I mean, I think it's just being able to choose who I want to work with. To be honest, I have worked with people in the past and trying to keep them authentic on social media failed big time. And so I had to get to a point where I can pick and choose who I want to work with. And sometimes when you are around these big names, it's very hard to find authentic and humble people. Honestly, it's very easy to lose perspective when you have success. And I've been able to get to this point in my career where I've been able to say no, or I've been able to say, yes, I do want to work with you. I believe in you. And that's the people I work with now, where I get behind them and I get behind them 100% and they become my family, like you. Right. And so I work with these people that I truly believe in, that I love, and I do life with. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is the people that I work with and their character.
Here's what I picked up on that. You do life with the people that you work with. And
Yeah.
that is so true. I have felt that because your team, they take you in like you're part of the family. They
Yeah.
ask questions, they find out about you.
Mhm.
And you literally help prepare the marketing way in advance. You
Mhm.
have a plan, you have a system. What advice do you have for all of us that are listening as to what we should be doing with our social media, preparing to launch a product or a service?
That's good. Well, first of all, really looking under the hood for your brand and all the brands that we work with has been super helpful. Like buying your book and annotating all of it helped us really understand you. And I think that makes all the difference because we spent an hour and a half just sitting there Q&A with Dianna, and we do that with all of our clients to really understand who they are and why they have such a passion in what they do. If you're asking what advice I have to somebody that's going to launch a product or a book, I would say that the biggest piece of advice that I have is content is king. That's it in a nutshell. The more content you share, the more you will grow. Now, there's a lot to be said. Gary Vee, who's an amazing marketer who I look up to in every way, he has a lot more on the subject, but content is king is what I always lead with for my clients. You have to not be shy. You have to, and even if you are, we could find out different ways to get that content. So we do something called a content day where we have multiple outfits. So it doesn't feel like it's all on the same day, but we do that once a quarter versus somebody trying to figure out what they're going to post every week, right? But content is king. Share, be consistent, and get tools that make your life easier so you can work smarter, not harder, you know?
Well, you have so many different tools to
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
that you offer, and you've been doing this for since 2017, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've built this huge company,
Mm.
yet you started with you. So
Mhm.
let's go back to the beginning. What started you in social media, and how did you build this Sunday morning marketing, which, by the way, I love the name, Sunday morning
Thank you.
marketing. I'd love to
Yeah.
find out. It has a certain vibe, and I love the vibe that it gives. And
Yeah.
how did you land on that name?
Well, I'm a Christian and I wanted something subtle. So
Oh,
something subtle that didn't yeah, here it is. But I didn't want to be in your face about Jesus or, I'm saved, but I am. And that's a very big part of what I do here. And there's a lot of agencies that, I don't know, they don't operate with a lot of integrity. And so I really wanted to have subtle Christianity in the name. And some things are easy and they take things, it's supposed to be easy. And so that's my goal is to make people's lives a little easier, like Sunday, right?
I really like it. I think it's fabulous. And you've been a busy founder, you've been a
Mhm.
mother and a CEO. Let's address some of the mother issues that come
Mm.
up because it's challenging. I've been there, done that. For everyone that's listening that's a mother right now, wondering, am I spending enough time with my children? How do
Mm.
you find that balance? Because your children are very young.
I don't. I think I'm in the thick of it now, trying to figure it out and trying to surround myself. I'm just being real, right? Like
Yes.
I wish I could tell you, I have people in place and I get off at I'm killing myself. I am burning every end, but I think really it's surrounding myself with people that have gone before me like Pamela Pyle and all these amazing women in my life and being able to not be shy and to pick up the phone or to voice memo them and say, "I'm struggling. I need prayer. Please sustain me in prayer right now because I need God to multiply my time." I've been at this point where I'm traveling so much and I need to just surround myself with people smarter than me that have done it before and just gain their advice, their wisdom, and try to learn from it. But I'm in the thick of it right now. And so I don't see it changing anytime soon. I just need to power through it. I think I gave birth to Raylan in December and I traveled 3 days after giving birth to a client. Yeah. So it just doesn't stop. It does not stop.
You remind me of me. I gave birth, came home, and had a meeting that night that I conducted with the
No
people
way.
who worked with me in the group that I had formed. And I'm
Yeah.
going, for mothers, working mothers, single mothers out there, we understand it. And I
Mm.
love the authenticity about it's a struggle.
Mm.
And so reaching out to people, having a support system, how has that helped you?
I mean, to be honest, not being shy to buy my village. Ronnie and I, my husband and I moved here alone. And so I've had to invest in a village around me. And so I have a nanny and I have a house manager. And for so long, I
Yes.
was so ashamed and so nervous because I grew up on food stamps. Like I did not grow up with any kind of privilege or wealth or anything. So it felt very wrong for me to be hiring out or sending out my laundry or doing any of that. It felt so wrong.
Right.
And I realized I buy back quality time with my kids in doing that. And also So I'm present with them, but then I'm able to work and have quality in my work as well. And so I think buying my village and having that support system of a nanny and somebody doing my laundry and all of that, it sounds crazy and bougie, but to be honest, now all that takes up my time is working in my clients and my family. And that's worth it for me.
See, I love that you look at it as buying back time because what you do now is when you're a child, you're really present when you're with your child. You're
Mhm.
not doing laundry, you're not doing the
Right.
dishes, you're not doing
Yep.
all of those items like a lot of people have to do, and you halfway talk to your child. You
Mhm.
can literally listen, give them their attention that they need. And I know you're very passionate about your faith and your family
I
and
am.
genuine service. I
Mm.
want to go to that genuine service because a lot of people think that they give service, yet it's barely making it. You exceed expectations over and over and over again, and so do your team. Let's see and share with our people. How do you help your people exceed expectations when they come to work for you and maybe they're not even meeting people expectations? They've never been taught that.
Yeah, well, one story comes to mind actually. In 2020, Facebook changed a lot, and one of my clients fully relied on leads to come from Facebook for it was a bigger home improvement business. And Facebook changed their policy in 2020, and we weren't able to get leads the same way that we were. And so
Mhm.
I looked it up. There was a home show in the same town. I went with just a stool and a piece of paper and a pencil, and I was just talking to people because my job was to get them leads, a certain amount of leads every month, no matter what. And Facebook changed and I had to change too. And so one of the biggest things for me was I can't let my clients down. That client now, Symphony, has been a client for 8 years now. And so they saw that I pivoted in one of the times that they really needed me to weeks ago in Calgary with John Maxwell,
Yes.
and it was an oil business that I was there with. And he wanted some people to come to his conference. And so these were really big CEOs that he wanted to come. And so I waited outside of their office just to have a conversation with them. I'm not like this creepy, crazy person, but you have to be able to put yourself out there a little bit and try to get the results that your clients want. But I'm not the smartest girl in the world. I'm not at all, but I can't outwork anybody that is around me. And I think that's what my clients see.
That's what I believe. I believe you outwork people as well. And to
Mm.
actually go there though, to think about that, I'm going to go take a stool and just talk
Yes.
with people
Yeah.
and find clients for my client. What a
Yes.
great way to prospect. And yet you help people in social media without buying ads. Let's
Yes.
talk about purchasing ads versus knowing and
Mhm.
being obsessive about the algorithms.
Yeah, I'm not against paid ads. I actually had a call with my paid ad specialist this morning. Paid ads are amazing, but they're only as good as your organic content. So if your organic content and your organic audience is not there, then your paid is just not going to go as far. If your organic audience and your organic engagement is good, that dollar stretches so much further. So I'm all about paid ads. I think paid ads are amazing. I stay in my lane of organic because it gives us credibility, it gives us social proof, it gives us all of that. Paid ads, though, is not bad. It's just, it needs to come after this organic growth is being done.
Well, you have this way about you, and your team does, to where it's almost like you can see the future ahead because you plan out per
Mm.
month and per
Yeah.
quarter, and you shift and pivot as needed. Yet, what helps you actually look forward and cast that vision for a quarter?
That's good. I think it's just being able to be constantly talking with my clients and understanding their goals and what they want to see and really establishing this is what a lot of marketing agencies get wrong, but KPIs. We talk about marketing agencies and branding, and you can't measure branding. And if somebody's putting money towards something, you
Yeah.
need to have something to look at. And so I love my KPIs. And even if it's just one of them, one number, and they all differ from client to client. And if somebody just cares about vanity metrics and followers, or if somebody needs leads to survive, it all just depends. And so my team and I were constantly meeting with clients, understanding what they need, what we need to do to make their goals happen. But it really just depends on the client and establishing those KPIs for anybody in marketing. You can't just buy into branding. That's not measurable. I'm not about it. You need something to measure in marketing.
When we talk about branding, how does someone actually say, I know I'm the brand, I know I'm the product, yet they're not authentic on Facebook? I mean, some of these things are so staged or so
Yeah.
AI driven in today's world. How do you help somebody find their brand or their niche, as some people say?
That's good. I think it's being able to, there's a woman in San Francisco that flew me out, and she was so smart, and she had so much brand, but she was so scattered. And so I think it was just sitting down with her and asking very direct questions, and then putting all of that for her in a document, just us processing it and us being able to look. We have perspective that she doesn't have. So us being able to look from the outside in and tell her, we believe that this is the best angle for you. And I also think being able to see social media is a search engine now. So just like I were to go to Google and type something in of something I was looking for, being able to see, okay, who is the woman that I was working with, and what are people searching for on social media that her expertise can answer. And so we're able to see in real time, okay, all these people in the medical field or whatever are looking up this. And so how can she answer that? And what niche does that give us for her? So really just being data driven and seeing what people are asking on those social platforms in real time, and how she and her brand can answer that.
And the thing that makes the most sense to me is that you're out there doing all of this while you allow someone else to do the work that needs to be done. They're not doing all that research, and research takes time. You don't just type in Google, hey, what is the word that's being used the most by this particular audience? You
Yeah.
guys do a lot of research.
Yeah.
So when you apply a team or you decide on a team, is there a certain amount of people that it takes, depending on Facebook, TikTok, all of the different platforms?
Yeah, I mean, we're all hands on deck here. There's not like we have 8 people. They're amazing people. They're all full time here. But I know some agencies have some clients under these people and some clients under another team member, and they're very territorial. But for us, we're just this big family, and we know everything about our clients, and we just dive in. And so, no, there's not really a set number of who's working with who, but we do have some outside help as well that we'll bring in if we need paid ads, that we've have really trusted partners as well. But I think too, it's working with the team that already exists for each client. And when we come in to any client, a lot of the marketing team that they have existing is really scared, and their fists are up a little bit. And being able to kind of dismantle that and just say, we're here to just support you, and we're girls, and we want to lock arms with you, and we all have that same goal, and just being able to come in and support them versus us versus them. And so I think utilizing that team that's already established that the client has, I think, is really helpful too.
Well, the thing I love about all of this is how real you are. So let's get down to some real things. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Which ones are the best that you're finding performing the best?
Gosh, I would say none of the ones that you just mentioned. I would say Pinterest is actually killing it right now.
That's what I've heard. I'm going like, okay, so I met the marketing person over Pinterest up in Banff, Canada about a year ago. And I was speaking with her, and she goes, we will be the number one within a year and a half, right? And we're going after it. So for you to say that, I should text her right now and say, congratulations. Somebody just said you're the best.
Yeah. A lot of our clients make a lot of money on Pinterest. That's for sure. It's just an amazing way to drive traffic to any website.
How do you take somebody, let's say they have a service business and they get on Pinterest, what would they do?
So content is king there, but I mean, content is king to the craziest degree. So we're posting about 100 pins a day on Pinterest for each client. And there's a way that we do that that makes it very sustainable. And I can tell you about what that is, but it's 100 posts every day on Pinterest.
Oh my
So
word.
it's this insane, mountain to climb, but we climb it, and in 2 months you see crazy results, and it's all organic. We're not buying ads on Pinterest. We're not doing anything like that, but it's just such a good niche that's on Pinterest that are looking for things and they're using it as a search engine. So Pinterest would be a big one. And I would also say, I mean, obviously Instagram and TikTok, they're all amazing, but right now, in order to stand out on them, I think doing lives and people doing live selling are making so much money doing it right now. And that's what our team is learning to do best, are TikTok live selling, because it's kind of like the QVC, right? Back in the day. And that's what's happening now. And there's clients making 100 grand a day just going on live selling and having maybe a bigger voice with them live selling, and giving assigned something while they're doing live selling. But there's just so much, and the landscape is changing so much, that I don't think it's just Facebook or Instagram that are the biggest drivers. I think it's these little things. Even Reddit has been a massive driver of revenue for some of my clients.
So basically, when you say you take care of your clients, you really do. You're looking at all avenues that are out
Yeah.
there. I think a lot of people today aren't looking at all the avenues. They started with Facebook and they stay
Yeah.
with that, or maybe
Yeah.
they'll expand, like I did at first, into Instagram and TikTok and go, woohoo, I'm even on LinkedIn, right? But then all of a sudden you wake up and you go, this isn't working, and you get all these crazy ideas from people as to what you should do. Sometimes they say be silly, tell jokes.
No,
What
yeah.
do you find?
Well, I think it all depends. It just depends on every client and the different platforms and everything. But I also think having a team that gives you a shot list is very helpful according to your personality and your niche as well, because we're looking behind the scenes and seeing what are people in your audience actively looking up and how can you answer those questions, right? And so us providing them a shot list, I think is a really good starting place.
Well, you've helped us with so many things about one, having a plan for the entire quarter,
Yeah.
two, being actually transparent in what you do, being authentic in everything. Don't work to be somebody else. And when we need help, to be able to reach out, whether it be support for our faith, our family, or just giving genuine service, or they could pick up the phone and actually call Sunday morning. So how would they reach you?
I'm available 24/7. People text me, they call me. Jonni at sundaymorningmarketing.com is my email, but I'm always leading with value first. So there's been times where this is not probably a smart thing to say, but I don't even charge people because I want to just give value, and I'm not a gatekeeper. And I believe that if you do that, you get clients and you get that kindness back in life. And that's honestly how I've grown my business. I've taken on these big names, and I do work for free for a certain amount of time and prove my value. And, I think that's what it's all about, is just giving value, and you'll get that value back.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that you and I connected so well. We both believe in adding value to other people, and we believe that you are paid in direct proportion to the service that you give.
That's
Now,
right.
for all of you who are interested in how Jonni spells her name, Jonni,
That's
to
right.
make certain that you get that, Jonni at sundaymorning.com. And so, Jonni, now there are questions that you really desire for people to ask you. I mean,
Mm.
you grew up with nothing.
Mm.
You literally have worked your way all the way up. You're a working mom. You struggle just like every working mom does. You're authentic, yet there's something inside of you that you knew at some time that there was more, that you desired more, that you wanted to become more. When did that happen, and how did you literally push through it?
Damon John from Shark Tank wrote a book that before I even knew him, I destroyed with all my notes. And it was called The Power of Broke. And you have this power inside of you when you've experienced having nothing and seeing your mom, who I love dearly, but rely on a man. And then he leaves and she has nothing. And so for me, I've always had this power of broke where there's just no option. I don't have an option but to succeed and but to be the best at whatever I choose to do. And also, I think my faith in God is such a big deal and reading my Bible and trying to actually do what it says. And I feel like a lot of the church is so complacent and they use Jesus as an excuse versus as a motivator to be excellent at what they do. That's actually been something that we've struggled with, Ronnie and I, because we read the Bible and he calls us to be excellent at
Yes.
whatever we do. And I think that's been a really big driver for us and what a lot of people just get wrong,
Mhm.
you
You
know?
know, you brought up the word excuse, and I know for a fact that there's many people because I've had it done. It doesn't make them wrong. They call and they have an excuse as to, hey, I can't show up today. My
Yeah.
baby kept me up all night. And yet nothing stops you. Just
Yeah.
like when you came in, hey, I got my baseball hat on. This is real life. Let's go for it because I'm here because you honor people's
That's
time.
right.
You
That's right.
honor and respect them so much. What advice do you have for women out there primarily that always desire to look good and be right? What
Oof, good luck. Like, it's just unsustainable. I was so vain for so long, and I mean, I still am in so many different ways. I'm gonna ask you to smooth out my skin in the editing process, I'm sure, and, like, with this video, so I'm still vain, but I also think that we just like, business is about showing up and being authentically you and just being able to be there and be present, and I learned, in actually a very hard way over the last few years after having the babies and traveling 3 days postpartum. I mean, I was not looking the way that I was looking a year before that. And I love health now, but it's still, it takes time. Postpartum, even 7 months, things are different. And so I think just being able to show up as you are and be excellent at what you do. I'm trying to learn now that my worth is one in God, and two, at being really good at my skill set. And none of the other stuff should matter. I'm learning that. It's not there. I'm not there yet whatsoever, but doing things like this where I know I'm going to promote this podcast and I know people are going to see me this way, being able to push myself and just be like, you know what? It's okay. And I trust God and, maybe it'll help somebody show up authentically.
I think that's the thing. You come with the attitude that you're going to help someone. And I know the editing will be good because your team does it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
with all of this happening as a testimony to what she does, she's not talking a talk and walking a different walk. Her audio matches her video. The
Mm.
way that she speaks, Johnny, that's what I love about you. You literally put your authentic self into everything that you do, and you do strive for excellence to help people. And I think the biggest thing that I definitely want to touch on before we leave is you take feedback in a way that I absolutely love. And
Mm.
it has been so much fun working with you and your team because I can be authentic and say, I love this, and tell me why this was happening and help me understand this.
Or you don't, right?
You
I
are
mean, that's
so good.
how we've been able to grow is through feedback. It's been so incredibly helpful and just being able to see everything, knowing that I don't have all the answers. And I think knowing that my team and I just we approach everything with open hands. And so if you were to say, Jonni, we love this, or Jonni, we don't, being able to pivot in real time or pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, tell me about this. Tell me what's going on in your head so I can get there too and learn and grow from it. And we grow together. And I think that not that we get everything right or we meet every single goal that we set out, but I think that's why clients stay with us because we are so open to pivoting and learning and we don't take it all, personally. We're just like, all right, we got to roll up our sleeves and get some stuff done.
Well, I'm telling you, helped so many of us today. I mean, planning ahead, being authentic, being able to pivot, taking feedback for growth,
Mm.
hiring people to help you so you can absolutely be present with your children when you're with them, and to grow with your clients, to figure out ways to help the client will always keep you in business. Now, with all of that, what is the last thing you would like to leave for
Well,
them?
I would say Diana, you've been a really big part of my life. I would say there's maybe 4 or 5 women over the last few years that have just changed my perspective on everything. And you're definitely one of them. I mean, reading your book and all of our conversations, and I just, I've been changed by this friendship and our working relationship. And I'm really grateful for that. Even in the way that you lead and talk to your team, I've been able to learn from you and adopt some of those things for my own business. So it's been really helpful. Other things that I would want people to leave with is I think I learned this from John Maxwell. The other day I talked to John, and I can approach business sometimes like with a closed fist a little bit because I get so nervous that that success can be gone in a second, right? And I was talking to him about that, and he said if you're like this and always just holding your success or your money or anything like that, then you have a lordship problem. You don't truly believe Jesus is Lord. And I know that's maybe too Christian for a lot of the people watching, but for me, it was just really helpful because he gives and he takes away, right?
Yeah.
And being able to understand, I work with a bunch of secular people. My most of my clients are all secular. They're not even Christian, but being able to see business as a place that I could have open hands and know that it could be gone in a second.
Love
Our life is just a vapor, and we have to we have to give back to him.
and be grateful for everything. And thank you for your kind words. I greatly
Mhm.
appreciate that. For all of you that are listening or watching this, literally subscribe to Becoming More so you too can become more, and reach out to Jonni. You will not be disappointed. And Jonni, once again, tell us how we get in touch with you.
Jonni, Jonni, at sundaymorningmarketing.com.
Yes, and I think I said Sunday morning before, so
No, yeah, you're
sundaymorningmarketing.com. So thank you for being here. We're so grateful for you listening today, and thank
right.
you, Jonni. I trust tonight you can get some rest. Let your husband take over
Yeah.
for the day, right? See you later, my friend. Thank you for being here.